We are live! Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Show Must Go On line. Today's guest is Rodney Conyers Jr. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. I'm doing better now that we're getting ready to sit down with each other. This is awesome.
I feel the exact same way. And especially having this later than usual, I've kind of had all day to watch your videos and think of some freestyling. I mean, not that I could prep freestyling because it's a freestyle, but just get into that mood.
Okay, I'm ready.
So let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. And how'd you get into freestyling and YouTubing and podcasting? I mean, you are just like a wealth of knowledge in so many aspects. Gaming, come on, we'll talk about it all.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you definitely did some research. Wow. Anybody in the chat that's looking for an interviewer, you got somebody that you need to hire here. She does great work. But I got into gaming. I mean, I've always been really big into gaming. You know, my younger brother and I, my older cousin, we used to play video games all the time. And, you know, you just kind of reach a turning point sometime in your hobby where you're like, do I want to take this serious? You know, do I want to just continue it as a hobby? And so we started going to a couple tournaments and stuff. And it was a very humbling experience. I'm like, I'm not as good as I thought I was. And that's okay. Let me try this talking thing, though. So streaming was getting really big in the fighting game community. And nobody ever wanted to commentate the matches or just talk about what's happening. And even though I wasn't really good at the games, I had a vast amount of knowledge about what was happening and why it was happening. And so I got on the mic and started talking. And then one thing led to another, and a couple places in some bigger cities were like, hey, we need you to come out here and help. Let's, you know, get it squared away. And that's really what I had been doing for the last, maybe 3-4 years. And then I started podcasting within the last year and a half or so. Just like with everything going on in the world, I finally decided to just make a podcast and see what would happen. And, you know, even before we jumped on, I'm like, wow, my podcast wheels are turning because hers looks great. I mean, look at all of this here. Like, this is awesome.
You are way too kind. Way too kind. But it also, I mean, I totally feel you on I'm really enjoying something, but maybe I'm not the best at this. How can I use that and still be in the world? Hello, theater. Mm-hmm. Like,
there you go.
I was a proud ensemble member in my high school's productions, and you know, some people have the singing and some people have the acting, and some people can be in the room where it happens and talk to people who do it. That happens. Have you seen Hamilton?
I have. I definitely have. Not in person, but Disney Plus gets the job done.
Immigrants, we get the job done.
There you go.
My favorite line. Truly, whenever we see it live, which I have been very fortunate to see it live, and I hope you get to see it too. But Disney Plus, as you said, does a great job of really like capturing the spirit and making it accessible for so many people. But that line especially gets so much applause, and it warms my heart because there are some really bad things happening in this world. And for us to be able to unite on that front, love it.
Oh, yeah, work. Absolutely. Yeah, work. That's right. Wow.
So I know that we met through FLS and Rap Recess and the Academy and all. I actually have my FLS hat. I was like, do I do a little costume change here with my flowers? Hey!
Oh my God. I don't have a hat. Wow. I'm jealous. That's an awesome hat. That is awesome.
Thank you. I'm a big fan. T Rico, which I see my friend Miranda saying, hi fam. Miranda knows all about T Rico life.
Okay.
And Twitter Rico. It's basically Lynn's company that sells stuff from Hamilton and In the Heights and Freestyle Love Supreme. Go check it out. So how'd you get involved with FLS? Tell us your origin story for getting into the Academy and all that jazz.
Well, so when working in commentary or just like on air anything, you know, I think there is a heavy level of improv there that goes into it. So there is, of course, a script that you may or may not have to read. But then sometimes, kind of like what we talked about, you know, before the show starts, sometimes things happen and you just kind of have to freestyle it on the go. And, fast forwarding to when I took the class, they broke down the kind of the science and the part of the brain that you use when you have to just kind of do things off the cuff. And I was like, you know what? I really like, of course, musicals, Brent and, Grease, just those type of shows. Those are some of my very first like favorites. And then, of course, Hamilton came out, and I didn't see much of In the Heights, but when Hamilton hit, I'm like, okay, let me check this out. And I'm like, oh, this is some cool stuff. And so then, of course, I looked all the guys up, and I was like, oh, okay, wait, I've seen this group of people before, but on different networks. I've seen Freestyle Love Supreme before. I forget what the channel was called, but they were doing like a live thing. And I'm like, oh, this is one big old rap cinematic universe. All these guys are the same guys. So they announced the class. And so I signed up for it. And honestly, the rest was history. Like I had so much fun. And I think I've taken it maybe 2 or 3 times now. And of course, every session tackles a different area of freestyling. So I don't want anybody to think that it's the same class over and over again. But yeah, I think I got introduced to it pretty much the same way a lot of other people did. You just see the people who are involved and they're doing all this cool stuff and they're rapping. And I'm like, well, I come from a hip hop background. I like to rap and be silly. I don't mind people laughing at me. Why the hell not? Let's see what happens. And we met. Of course, I think I met Miranda as well in the class. I met a lot of cool people. So I think, FLS family for life at this point.
Love, love, love that. Yes, the fam just keeps growing, and especially now having this virtual life that we can go to rap recess and get to jam. So for anyone who doesn't know what the rap recess is, can you share what that is?
Yes. So of course we take classes. You got to show up to class, but in these classes though, you also get to have fun. Now, in the actual classes themselves, there is time for freestyling at the very end. And of course, all the lessons that we're taking and all the just all the classroom sessions, we are freestyling, but it's kind of tied into an educational thing. But on Sundays, I don't know how many Sundays we do these a month, but occasionally we do what's called a rap recess. And the cool thing about this is that each one has a different theme. So they'll do like an African-American one that highlights, African-American people in the class. They'll do an LGBTQ one as well. I mean, just all these different types of freestyle sessions that shine light on people who might not feel like they get as much love sometimes normally, which is what the whole class is about. Really just, pushing our classmates to the next level. And if we all lean on each other, it just builds for a cohesive experience.
Beautifully said. I feel so warm and fuzzy inside just thinking about how everyone lifts each other up. We do things like Got Your Back, which is making sure that everyone feels comfortable and seen and heard. And for anyone who wants to join FLS, I feel like this, we'll talk more about like you personally, but for a quick PSA about FLSA, PSA with FLSA, got to say,
rapping already.
Just you wait. We will do a little freestyle session in just a moment, but y'all can check it out on their website. Highly recommend taking their classes. Like Rodney was saying, that there's like proper classes that even though the in-person ones aren't there anymore, this actually widens it up to more people now because they're online during pandemic. So you can do that. And then every Sunday we do a rap recess, and then every Wednesday is a specialized one. It is like the best part of my week. It's something I look forward to. And it really, as you'll see in a moment here when we freestyle, there's something that happens when you freestyle with a friend. It doesn't matter what you're saying or doing. In the academy, you don't film them. And right now we are. So just maybe give us a little bit of a leniency depending on how the rapping goes. But it doesn't matter about the rhyming or the rhythm. I mean, all of it is, as long as you feel good doing it, you've won.
100%. Hey, I'm backing that 110,000%. If you don't leave the class, feeling better, I feel like I just don't, you just must be a different type of person, because I can go into the class with one attitude and I just leave with a completely different one. Like I'm just happy at the end of it.
So true. I remember there was this one class. I just, I had a bad day. I got a message from my boss that just really hurt. And I was like, do I even go? I was crying on the subway. I mean, this is one of those, any New Yorker knows that you have a crying on the subway day and you're like, I don't care who sees. But I decided that I would go anyway. And what a good decision, because it totally lifted me out of that slump, and I was able to handle that situation with a more level head. And isn't that what we need when you're feeling at your worst, to have people that always raise you up?
Yes, absolutely. I just think there's just something there's like this unspoken science. I don't know what it is, but like when you're just in the moment and you're freestyling, you're like, I just laid down a rhyme and then my partner just picked it back up and we're all still in the same theme and it's just going well. Like it's just, I don't know what that is. But you know, there's also even beauty of it, you know, falling apart too. You know, if you're rapping and somebody else changes the subject, okay, I didn't tell you that we all need to change the subject, but we're all just cohesively on the next topic now. Like there's just the beauty in that human science, that interconnectivity. Like, and I love the fact that the class touches on all of that.
Mm-hmm. So, shall we do a little freestyling?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Wow. Okay, so I've never used StreamYards before, but this looks way better than anything I've been using. Much more to the point. Like, what the heck?
I'm a big fan. So I can play if you don't, but I think your audio tech skills are probably way superior to mine. So let me know if you can do it and if you have any of these controls, and you should be able to just play them and it'll go right through.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do the share screen option. I don't want to mess the layout up.
I don't think you have to worry about that. I think there's like a share audio, and this is live happening right here. So I just did this actually the other day, but do you want to try just playing it and see if it goes through? Let's just try that.
Sure. You mean just like a different browser or something just to pull music up?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, let's give it a go. Okay. Oh my.
And if not, I do have Spotify here from the Rap Recess, so I will also pull that up as fam. Y'all can see, I kind of like y'all getting this opportunity to see sometimes when you're doing a video or rapping or like all the things. Oh, okay, cool. I do see a third screen here from you. So technology is crazy, y'all.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So
I'm kind of afraid though, because you're going to upload this to YouTube and I don't want you to get hit with the copyright thing.
I shouldn't, but I'll just do these Spotify beats that we do at FLS that should just be fine.
Okay, because I'm afraid, because sometimes you'll play something in the next room and then YouTube is like, I heard Beyonce flatted.
Was that Beyonce? No Beyonce for you.
Right.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, can you hear that, or do you want me to? Is that good?
Maybe just a little louder.
Yeah. Well, let me see. I've share audio. Awesome. You know what? I should have done this beforehand, but that's just life, y'all.
No, it's okay. I mean, this is a part of the experience. This is us just doing it on the go.
It is. How is that?
Oh, I hear that. That is Hard Knock Life, isn't it?
Hey, look at you.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So is this good, or should I press? There is this share screen audio only thing, but if you can hear it like this, I feel more comfortable.
I can hear it, but sometimes when I talk, it goes out. Let me Jimmy Neutron this really quick here, because I think we might be able to watch this. Sorry, y'all. These are two tech geeks nerding out right now. You wouldn't understand. Okay.
My Ooh. Hi.
I wonder if. Ooh, what about this? Does this work? Can you hear that?
Let's see. Huh? I'm gonna pause my.
It might be in my other screen.
I don't hear any music.
It's in my third screen. That's so weird.
You know what? Let's see if I can add what?
Oh, is that me?
It is, but this is so, y'all, we are trying new things here. We are living it up. Wow, this is so fun, y'all. Ooh, hello, this is a big one of me now. Oh my God, this is so fun. I don't know, okay, try it again.
Okay, I'm gonna refresh the page.
Refresh, y'all. Oh. Ooh. I hear it.
Do you really?
Yeah, up it a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it all the way up.
Oh,
How's
damn.
that?
Oh, damn.
Is that good?
Oh, now I don't hear it. No. That's so weird. No. It's fine, y'all. It is fine. This is technology. This is, okay, let me try one more thing from my end, okay?
Okay.
Because share screen, share audio, there should be just share, like just, oh, ooh, that's a lot of, okay, that's a lot of.
That was the Way Show multiverse.
Oh my God. If you're I should put a disclaimer. If you watch this in the future, because this will remain on, that just skipped like 5 minutes of us trying to figure it out. It's so weird though, because I know that you can share just the audio. And okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do this here.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can make it smaller. So it's, you know what? That's cool. Why not? Can you hear it now?
Yeah, I can hear it a little bit better.
Okay, let's just go with this. It'll be fun. It'll be fine. Well, you know what? We've got Slimbo the dog here with us. We've got B-Way Show, Rodney. Do you want to tell us your potential rap name, FLS name?
Oh yes. So our very first, what's the part at the end where we just kind of all jump into the cipher?
It is like a cipher, just
yeah, like the end of the day cipher. I was rapping and I can't remember what I said, but I was like something along the lines of being Superman, but like Clark Kent. But I'm like Clark Bent, like the evil version. And so Tarek, my facilitator at the time, was like, "That's your rap name," and I'm just like, but maybe he's like, "Nope, that's it." I'm like, "Okay, like it's my rap. Let's get it." Clark Bent, like, you know, just standing on, able to leap tall microphones in a single bound.
Wait, I actually love that. So cool. I actually had Tarek Davis on the series before, and I love him so very much. So yeah. Big fan. Okay, fam. We're just gonna start freestyling. Don't know what we'll do. Doesn't matter if we trade 4s or 2s.
Yo, it doesn't matter if we do 4s or 2s. I'm on the B-Way Show, and you already know what it does. And if you don't know, you better turn on the news and get a blues clues. I mean, a red clue or any other color clue. You know what we do, and we do it like how we does. And we rapping not from the bottom, but from the top and above. And yo, it's all top of the dome. It's all top of everything we do from here to Rome and way back to France and Nebraska and Alaska and doing this thing, man. Boy, you better ask her. Best in the business with the interviews. And like I said before, yo, she's going to give you a clue.
Hey, give you a clue. Thank you very much. I can't believe how much you can just rap off the top of your dome at home. It doesn't matter if you're using a microphone. Yeah, it's so fun. I got my Slimbo here. If you see a little dog, you better, you know what, cheer. Because, yeah, he's so cute. And it doesn't matter if you rhyme on time all the time. Or just words coming out of your mouth. Because who really cares at the end of the day? You're just having some fun. And you're just saying, hey.
Just saying, hey, doing it the B-Way way, doing it tonight and every other day of the week. You should see my rhymes and keep them tight. I'm a plumber. There are no leaks. And yo, get you a plate, fam, and do it the right way. And we doing it like we said we doing it with Blade, but we doing it for the show. The show must go on. And yo, I'm rapping off the top all along, and I've been doing it. I've been ruining it, but I'm fixing it. Now I'm doing that. I'm bowl of cereal. I'm trixing it. Yo, Miranda's in the chat. Yo, Blaze on the mic, and I'm doing this thing here all night.
Slimbo wants you to hear his tune. Yeah, that's what you got when you got the dog. He's like a dune. Yeah, he'll be on your YouTube anytime that you want to do it, day or night. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. Yeah, he'll be like, yo, what's up, son? I don't know. I like to talk for my dog. Do you have an animal? What's up, y'all?
I used to have an animal. It's funny about that. I used to have an animal. I used to have 2 cats, and I used to pet them, way back in the day. I used to pet them in the top of their head and on the way in the back. And it's a sad thing because I used to be my favorite thing. I used to get off of work and come home and feel the love, and my cats be waiting for me with snuggles and hugs. But now my cats are gone, and now it's a sad song. But I'm about to be happy. Watch this one. Look, Emily's in the chat. Asked me what musical I was in. Funny about that. I was in this children's show called Kerfuffle, and it was dope. You already know I played a worm that was in the nest. But guess what? I played that worm, and I played it the best. I played it like Superman with the S on my chest. Shout out to Tarek. I'm Clark Kent. No, I'm Clark Bent. Standing. Yes, I love the pose. It's heaven sent. And just like that, I'm about to pass it back off because I'm doing this thing, yelling out, Mazel Tov.
Hey, Mazel Tov, l'chaim to life. Yeah, did you know that Purim's coming up in a couple of nights? Yeah, that's Judaism, some for you. I gotta love that. Like David Diggs with the Hanukkah puppy song. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's tight. Thanks for telling us your musical tonight.
Yes, Lord. I love it. I love it. That's how you do that. That's how we do it the FLS way. Just one person drops it, next person picks it up.
Wow. Okay. What a journey that was. I'm going to pause this music. Okay. Wow. I hope y'all heard Slim Freestyle. Okay. Miranda did see Slimbo attacking me with so much love and kisses. I'm sorry to hear about your cats and kitties.
Yeah, it's okay. They're in the great cat beyond above looking down on me. I hope they have unlimited catnip and kibbles and bits.
Yes. Many boxes for them to play around in.
Mm-hmm. Emily says, Rodney, you look like you would be in the Hamilton musical. I wonder, who do you think I would be? I like bad guys, but like bad guys for the sake of being bad guys. So not like bad guys with the purpose like Aaron Burr. I'm like Thomas Jefferson. I'm just there to just be this thing in the road that you can't get around.
I would love to see that. Have you sung or freestyled any of the Jefferson songs before?
I have, actually. It's funny. I actually auditioned for Hamilton on Clubhouse. They're doing Clubhouse, like a Hamilton's kind of a community version. What? And I'm in callbacks for Thomas Jefferson. So I hope I get that.
What? This is so cool. I'm writing this down because I'm very hip with all the new technology and social media, and I'm totally using Clubhouse already.
Are you really?
I'm not. No, I'm so far behind on all of it. Do you use it? Do you like it?
I do. And so I feel like for somebody like yourself, it'd be really great. It's all about, interconnecting and speaking and chatting and just, getting to hear each other's voice and just seeing what parts of the world everybody comes from. There's rooms for everything on there. So there's, of course, there's a Hamilton room, which I stumbled upon on accident. No, I'm kidding. I was looking for it, but I found it. And, I got the auditions and all that type of stuff. But there's stocks rooms, there's art rooms. Which is one of the biggest reasons why I have all this art in my room is I did a lot of shopping off of Clubhouse. And then Pokemon rooms. Now I'm really big in Pokemon, So, there's rooms literally for every sort of walk of life. You just got to look for it.
Costume change back. Let's do this.
Love it.
This is can we talk about your artwork for a second?
Sure.
Okay, so that is you, yes, above your bed. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So on my spare time, I host sneaker conventions. And what those consist of are people who are really big into footwear, not just for the sake of collecting them because they look cool, but they're into like the innovation and technology and that type of stuff. And so I've been doing that for like the last 5 or 6 years here. But of course, with everything going on in the world, we had to kind of switch it up a little bit. So I do some of those types of things online. But anyway, the name of the group is called FAKE. It's an acronym. It stands for Fly Ass Kicks Every Day. And what's funny is I actually added a young man into the group. His name was Travis. And he said, Rod, I make sneaker inspired rugs. And so I'm like, oh my God, like, can I help you? I don't have anything for you. There's some people maybe like I can make you some new customers or something. And he said, nah, don't worry about it, man. I've already been doing a lot of customers just because of, everything that you've done and created. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, I want you to have this. And so he came to my house with his mom and he dropped me off a rug of my face. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, nobody ever gives me anything. I said, I've been doing this for a long time. Nobody's brought me a thank you, really anything. He's like, nah, man, this one's on me. Don't worry about it. And that's like $100 rug. So I was like, nobody's walking on this. This is going on the wall. And so I hung it up. And I mean, that if nothing else, like, of course, you know, it's an item, you know, whatever. But more than anything else, I think it represents that no matter what you're building, there's going to be somebody who's going to come after you that's going to pick up where you left off, regardless if you are there to see it or not. Like they say, you know, legacy is planting trees in a garden that you might not ever get to see grow. And so I was like, wow, I'm happy I got a chance to see somebody, you know, pick up where I left off. And I'm very happy. Like, I was honestly about to cry. I was about to cry, but I was like, you know what? Thomas Jefferson doesn't cry. All right. He's not a crier. So I had to tighten up, all right, for the sake of this nation.
I think that is so cool. And it goes to show
Ooh.
that it doesn't matter if you affect one person or 1,000 people, but as long as you're doing what is right for your journey, if you're touching someone's lives, like you said, what is a legacy? This is a legacy. Having someone that feels so seen by your work that they would want to make a rug out of your face, it's so cool.
It's like, I didn't even know my face was art, but I guess if you get the right side and then turn me into a rug, you know, I could be a rug model. I don't know if this, you know, freestyle doesn't work out. Maybe there's a career in rug modeling. Who knows?
I hear that's a big thing going on these days.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you need to talk about those glasses that you wear during your interviews because they are so dope.
Oh, my flip up ones. Yeah, oh, here they are actually. So they actually come from a character that I really like. There's a show called A Different World that starred oh God, what is her name? Oh, Lisa Bonet. Back in the day, it was a spinoff of the Cosby Show. Like Lisa Bonet, her character Denise, she went to college, and so this was kind of like their way of tackling real world issues, almost like Degrassi before Degrassi was a thing. And so there's a character on the show, his name is Dwayne Wayne, and he wore these flip-up glasses in some of the earlier seasons as he was still a college student. He became older and kind of let the glasses go, but when he was still a younger man on the show, he rocked those. And I was like, those are really cool. I wonder if I can buy those. And Amazon was like, you're in luck because we got all of that on here and then some. So I ended up getting a pair, and I'm gonna be honest, it's not really easy to find glasses that fit my face as it was anyway, but I figured, all right, if anybody asks, I'll just tell them that those were the only glasses that could fit my face. Like, that's why I'm wearing those. So bit of a backstory, but I think they look pretty okay on camera.
I think they look wonderful, and it's so cool to have a staple item. Your glasses on your series inspired me to throw on my rose headwear again, because I used to always wear flowers in my hair, like for years. And then right before I was going to be an on-air journalist, one of the higher end bosses was like, if you want to be professional, you probably shouldn't wear flowers in your hair. And I was like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm going to be a news reporter or whatever. So I stopped wearing them. Sometimes, you know, on a Saturday or whatever, I throw it on. And then pandemic hits, and I'm doing these interviews, and I run B-Way Show, and I go, the roses are coming back.
I love it. And see, I feel like self-expression is a big thing. And that was something I was really big on when I came into the broadcast world too. You know, I mean, there's so many honored journalists, commentators, interviewers, or whatever. And, you know, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of them, we all share very similar aesthetic. And I hate to talk like that, but we all know how kind of picky the industry is. Like, okay, we got that, you know, aesthetic, and we got this one, and we're filling in those. There's just all these weird diversity quotas, and it's really hard to find organizations you can work with that just appreciate you for you. And so I was like, I don't look like the status quo. Like I sometimes wear these beads on my neck too. There's a character from Street Fighter that I really like. His name is Akuma, and I wear his beads, or sometimes I wear the glasses, or depending on how my hair is cut, I sometimes wear a beret. And I'm like, look, I'm not here. I mean, I'm here to make people happy, but I'm not here to try to make, you know, these business people like me. You know, if this is just how I look, this is me. And so it worked. It was a little rough at first, you know, because they were like, well, I don't really got a good read on this guy. He kind of looks crazy as hell. But as time went on, you know, of course, and I'm sure you can attest to this, regardless of what you look like, your work will always speak louder than anything else. And how you made people feel will speak even louder. And I'm like, as long as they left with a good time, who the hell cares what I look like? All right.
but you're also looking professional. And I think that's a key point that so many people could hear, and I wish I could hear like 5 years ago, is that if you look professional, but you're being unique in your own way, that's professional. Like, it doesn't have to fit that one mold that you're talking about, because like at a time they didn't want me to have curly hair. I have curly hair. I'm not going to straighten it every day for you. No.
No.
I love my curls. And I even got messages from viewers saying, we never see people who wear their hair naturally. Thank you for doing that. I'm like, you're welcome. What can I say except you're welcome?
I love it. Yeah, I love the curls. You know, this self-expression is such a big thing. And, you know, 10, 15 years ago, I would never imagine that, you know, people that look like us would even have an opportunity to do something like this. So I'm like, well, while we're in this position, while we're in this great point in time in our life, we need to make it, you know, the door bigger for the people after us. I want somebody to look at both of us going back and watching this and say, oh, she had flowers in her hair and a leather jacket and curly. Like, if she can do it, I can do it. I want somebody to look at me and say, this guy, you know, he has a denim jacket on and he has a head full of hair and whatever, and he's in a funky looking room. Like, if he can do it, if they can do it, I want to do it. Because you never know. There's probably some kids that are going to go in. There's going to be searching Freestyle Love Supreme stuff or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this interview, I want to be like her when I grow up.
You are so complimentary, but I feel the same way about you. You have your own aesthetic. You have your own voice. You use that voice for good, and very Clark Kent of you, Clark Dent. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what is it?
Yeah.
I love superheroes. Are you a comic book fan? Are you comics, movies, all that jazz, or no?
Yes, and it's really bad. Yeah.
Bad or super?
It's bad in a good way. So I'm the bad, like, you know, it's just comics were another really like big hobby of mine as a young man. My father was into all of that type of stuff as a kid. You know, it's superhero stuff, sci-fi, everything, and you know, Pokemon, this and that. Of course, that just being millennials, that hit us very, very hard. You know, it was like the best thing since sliced bread. And but anyway, to wrap it back around to superheroes, yeah, you know, we spent a lot of time at our local comic book shops as a kid. You know, my father, he took us to see pretty much every superhero movies from probably since Blade all the way up until now. And it's kind of funny now, like the roles are switched. Now we're taking him to go see these films and whatnot, you know. So, you know, it's full circle. But yeah, very big on it. Very big on WandaVision. Very big on that. That is consumed every part of my life. I don't even know what Friday is. For me, it's stay up all night Thursday, watch it at 3 a.m., and then go to bed. I don't even know what Thursday is anymore. I'm caught in some weird time paradox there. Kind of like how she is.
Ooh, a little connection, I see.
Uh-oh.
I feel the exact same way. I've actually got some comics here. I have so many comics. I actually have them all. They're right here on the left side. During the summer, I would take Slimbo out to the field, and I would just sit in outside on the grass and just read some comics.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Who's your favorite? I'm interviewing you now. Who's your favorite?
So it kind of depends on what part of my life we're talking about. So growing up, Superman, but really Clark Kent from Smallville was like my jam. Tom Welling's Superman. Oh my goodness. I was so into it, seeing all the like the way he had to hide, and it was
Uh-oh, I think you froze. Can you chat? Can you still see me at all? Because I can't see SHO anymore. I think I froze. Or maybe she froze? I don't know. Oh. Uh-oh. Hi, everyone. I think it's just me. Um, well, hey, about to bust some rhymes. Do it all the time. Doing it for the clean, and I'm doing it for the grime. Get the Swiffer and the slime. Anybody there? Can anybody see me? Uh-oh. Well, friends, I feel like that conversation was going well. I don't want to leave yet. Oh, Miranda, can you can see me? I don't know if maybe I'm the one who can or can't be seen, but hey, Miranda. Also, great job on the during the Ham for Progress. I seen the Hamilton account retweeted your work. That's awesome. That is super awesome. Ah, we're back. I was afraid for a second. Can you see me now? Yeah, I don't. Did I turn into like a digital mess, or did I freeze? What did I do?
I don't know about you because my internet deconnected for a minute there. Uh-oh. That's fun. Thank you for holding it down. Oh my god.
Oh, okay, but you were talking about Smallville, though.
Smallville, yeah, something I'm very passionate about. Similar to how you're talking about WandaVision. Oh my god, Slimbo is playing with his toy piggy, which he loves, and doesn't usually play with it inside. So I'm home. This is quarantine. Everyone knows what's up. Anyway, so Smallville. Let's just talk about that for a sec. Did you watch it, by the way?
It was on as background noise as a kid. So I didn't watch as much of it as I wish I would have back then. I was really big on like reading comic books. And so like, it didn't even occur to me that this was a superhero show until looking back in retrospect. Like, why the hell? All we had was basic cable in the kitchen anyway. And it came on like basic television. I'm like, why was I not watching this?
That's totally fair. I think I actually did the reverse, that I watched Smallville and now I'm into comics. Mm-hmm. I kind of like slowly throughout college got into comics because of Smallville. Thank you, Smallville. So I loved watching that. I love watching Supergirl now. I love reading Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel or Marvel, depending on your taste for it.
That's right.
A little. How is that connection for you? Is it freezing or is it good?
Yeah, you're freezing just a little bit.
Cool.
You're freezing just a little bit. But again, it's not your fault, of course. It's that good old internet stuff that we can't really it's weird, if you feel like sometimes the more you call your internet provider and yell at them, it feels like the worse it gets sometimes for you. I'm struggling the same way too. I had to actually just wire myself the whole room in a month ago because I'm like, this Wi-Fi stuff is just it's not working. Got a harder line in.
Wow, I wish I could rewire all of this. That would be great.
Mm-hmm. But you know what, though? To your point of Smallville and Superman, I feel like there's a big backstory on him. Not to, sidebar too much, but there's a big backstory on him that sometimes just gets kind of overlooked. They're like, this guy's impenetrable. Like, he can never lose. Like, well, no, like the things that he struggles with are not, he can kick pretty much everybody's butt. There's not very many people who can say, yeah, I kick Superman's butt. All right. And then live to tell the tale. All right. It's a very small list, but he struggles with, of course, living like normal people, and I'm saying normal in air quotes because really what even is normal anymore, but he's, going to school and he's trying to fall in love and he's working and he's doing all this stuff. This is the part of Superman that we don't really get to see. And I honestly feel like with everybody else, that's really a big part of everybody's life. How do we try to blend into society? Uh-oh, she froze again. Ah! Hey!
Hello!
Hey!
Oh, there I am.
It's a magic show, too, on top of an interview. She can disappear.
Where'd she go? I'm like that WandaVision episode 2 disappearing act.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. That's right.
So I don't know if you kept talking about Superman. We can totally keep talking about Superman comics, all that jazz, as much as, you know, you're interested in, because I certainly love it. But I do want to, while my internet is maybe cooperating for like a few more seconds here.
Sure.
You know, you talked a little bit at the beginning about all these different aspects that you are knowledgeable in the gaming community. I was blown away when I watched some of your interviews talking about like esports and all the commentator aspects. And can you just like go into a little bit of detail of what that world is like?
Yeah. So when I first got into commentary, I was commentating locally, doing usually commentary, and I'm sure you know this as well too, working as on-air talent. You don't do that all day. Like, we work in shifts, so you'll do like 2 hours at a time, then you'll come back later, so whatever. But at a local level, my buddies were running a production and they would stream tournaments, and I'm like, well, I'm kind of okay at commentary, but since I have access to this, I need to keep doing this every week to practice. So I'm doing like huge 80-man tournaments, and they're all double elimination. I'm commentating the whole thing, and it's like 4 hours, like just of straight talking, straight thinking of things off the dome. And so I felt like I like this. I said, but there has to be more. And so I started reaching out to a couple different organizations in Chicago and Minnesota. Let's just say I spent a lot of time on mega buses, okay? Because I'm in Nebraska right now. I was in New Jersey a few months ago. I'm in Nebraska. So, 8 hours to the left is Denver, 8 hours to the right is Chicago. So I'm on mega buses list every weekend just about. But I felt like in order to be in the room when things happen, you kind of have to be in that room. So I'm like, let me get on this bus and see what I can do. And I got out there, and of course I met some people. And, from there, I realized that, if I am using improv and acting skills to really sell myself live, that is a piece of interconnective tissue. And there has to be more aspects of that outside of just the actor thing. And I'm like, well, esports is such a big deal. I wonder if I can maybe tie this into maybe some of my sneaker stuff. And so I had a couple customized sneakers made for some big gamer streamers, and they loved them. And basically my whole shtick in anything is finding out ways to bring things together, finding that interconnective tissue that we didn't really know was there, but it's certainly there. I mean, just even the very nature of us doing this, it's a talk show about Broadway. And then we met basically through a Broadway show, a sung through Broadway show about hip hop, which is again more interconnective tissue. Like the tree it sprouts a lot of branches. And so I just find myself always in these types of projects, in these types of scenarios. And I felt like, well, if that's what I'm going to do, then that must be my calling. And I'm like, this is one of the biggest reasons why I'm really happy that we're sitting down, because I know that you probably shared this same sort of idea. Like, who would have thought 5-10 years ago we can interview Broadway people? I mean, you've had real I'm just the guy being a dude. All right, you had real Broadway people here. I think you had Nikki on here. You've had all types of people. I'm like, who would have thought? But again, it's that, well, I'm good at this thing, and then I'm really good at this other thing. Let's just slam it together and see what happens.
It is ridiculous to me what has happened. And I feel very lucky. But I feel, honestly, talking with Nick Walker and Eliza Oman and talking with you, they're so joyful, because it doesn't matter your level of fame or what you're doing. Everyone has a story, and that's what's so beautiful about this series. It's just getting to talk about, like, we start with your origin story. We talk about what you're doing. We talk about a charity later, but it's just about, like, everyone's interesting. And I don't think people always realize is that everyone is actually so interesting if you just take the time to sit down and talk to them.
That's right. But see, we live in a society that thinks speed and not need sometimes. Like, we got to, and I'm with you. Everybody has a story. And I'm one of those people who thinks everybody's story is cooler than mine. Like, even as we're talking, I'm like, yeah, all right, I've done some cool stuff. I was like, but I want to hear about why the dog barks all the time. Like, I just feel like, I'm in my world. So like, it doesn't feel like you're writing it every day. So when, after it's written, and it's in a book, you're reading it and you're like, I wrote this. I don't feel the same sort of, if I'm reading somebody else's story, I don't feel that same type of just becoming enamored. And so I am with you 110,000%. Like, series like this, very, very great for the community.
Totally. And just like we've been saying this whole time, the FLS community and specifically the FLSA, so that's Freestyle Love Supreme Academy. Y'all have been some of the best parts of, if we're going to be quarantined and we're going to be in a pandemic and not be able to have like in-person human interaction, it's so nice to know that there's this digital virtual community.
Oh yeah, 100%. And the great thing about that is like, this isn't one of those sort of classes that you take and the teachers don't really interact with you or they don't really care about what's going on. Like, you know, right after I took the class, like, you know, Tarek followed me, you know, the academy class did, you know, yourself, Miranda, Jelly. I'm like, oh my God, like these were people that I was watching, you know, a year ago, you know, 2 years ago. I'm like, okay, they must want to see what I have to say now, which is really weird. And then the big one for me was that the actual Freestyle Love page followed me. And I was like, oh my God, like, okay, this is a thing now. Like they want to see the bars. Like I want to make sure that I'm giving them properly. Uh-oh. Did I lose her again? Well, we're going to rap till she comes back. Yo, rap till she comes back. After this, it's Taco Tuesday attack. Taco Tuesday happens to be my favorite snack. I get it at this place called the Taco Shack. Nah, I'm just joking, yo. That's not the name. I had to make it up, yo. And I know that's kind of lame, but I did it for the rhyme. I do it every time. I do it nicely. It's coming out of my mind. It's coming out of my time. I got to check the wristwatch. And yo, if I don't blow my nose, it'd be a bunch of snot, but I'm big screening. Back on my face, yo, I'm big greening. Yo, I'm going without a trace. Yo, my room is colorful and it's pretty to the top of the floor. Yo, I'm rapping and I want some more. Yo, where's the B-Way show? Doing it the B-Way, yo. Doing it so B-Way can grow. Oh, man. I am very scared. How have none of you started singing Frozen yet? Into the unknown. That's actually one that's been really stuck in my head. Like, Into the Unknown is my jam. But I like me some Frozen. I love me some Frozen. Maybe I'll bring that up too. That's a great idea, Miranda.
Am I back? Can you?
I think. Oh, there you are.
Oh, hey, nice to see you again.
Yeah. Wow. But basically, long story short, I'm like, all these people that I watched, you know, from, you know, years ago, you know, they're following me on Twitter, and I know social media, but I'm like, they care about the community. You know, you don't just follow people from your class, you know, just for the sake of doing it. They want to see what we have to say. And I rep, you know, FLSA Academy hard. You know, it's in my bio. I want people to know when they come to my page, like, hey, this is a thing that, you know, me and a handful of talented individuals are very good at, and we want to spread the word so that way that handful becomes even bigger and we can get more people in on these classes. Oh, did I lose you again? I think so.
I 100% agree. Oh, if I'm still here, it froze for a second, but I still could hear you.
Okay, I can see you.
Oh, good. This is, you know, sometimes it freezes for a second, but it just like every other word or sentence. I feel very bad. So thank you for hanging in there.
No, it's okay. Trust me. You just sometimes the internet and technology, they just don't work out in your favor. It's nothing we can do.
There's nothing you can do. So just in case if it does it again, I want to make sure we get to, are there any nonprofits or charities that you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, I actually work for a company called Collective for Youth here locally, and it's one of the programs. It's one of the foundations that funds the program that I work in after school. I work for this group called Panther Pack, and it's called Panther Pack because I work Morton Middle School. Our mascot is the Panthers, and so they help fund the after school program themselves and the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Midlands. Very great company. You know, they provide a safe space for kids to just be kids after school. I mean, funny to say, but there's just not very many outlets anymore for kids to just be themselves. And so I'm happy that I'm able to be a part of their life and to, help, shape them the way they want to be shaped and, touch on some of their interests. I showed them Rent, showed them Hamilton. They were very into it. I got some kids that are like, yo, I feel like, I've been working on my Thomas Jefferson. Let me show you. And I'm like, all right, let's hear. And he's like, I'm in the cabinet. I am complicit and watching. I'm just like, oh my God, like you have been practicing great stuff. But the fact that they're not getting that throughout the school day, that's a piece of that camaraderie. There's that piece of that connectiveness that they just wish that they could get from their teacher. But it's kind of hard to get that when your teacher has 5 billion kids a day. But that's where the cool teachers like myself are there for after school, that they can come and, talk about their hobbies and stuff with me. So big shout out to them. Oh, hey, Emily.
That is so cool. You do snacks, and honestly, hey, Emily. Big fan, Emily Boyd joining us now. So having these teacher moments, was there a teacher in your life that kind of changed the way you are now?
Yeah, I had a 3rd grade teacher. Her name was Miss Howard. She was amazing. I mean, there's teaching, and then, she took it to the next level. She would read these books to us. I don't know how familiar you are with Judy Blume, but she wrote the Fudge series. And so there's about 5 or 6 books, and she read all of them to us. And she got into character. Or sometimes she'd get on her desk and she'd dance like Elvis Presley. She'd turn her collar up and she'd do her thing. And I'm like, that type of stuff sticks with you. She was like a Miss Frizzle. Every day was an adventure. She was always in a really big, mood, a really big attitude, just whatever. And she just had one of those personalities where, like, when she's happy, when she's in the room, you can feel it. When she's happy, you can feel it. When she's sad, you can feel it. When she's maybe, not feeling the best, she just had one of those types of emotional personalities that I think kids really connect with, because sometimes kids, you just can't find the words, but kids, we can pick up on that emotional stuff really well. And her and I just synced up really well back in those days. And I actually had the pleasure of having her twice, because in the 1st grade, we did reading tests. And depending on where you tested out, you would go to that teacher's grade and then you would read their books. And so I was like 1st grade reading at a 3rd, 4th grade level. So I would go to her class while I was a 1st grader, and I got a kind of a trial run of how she worked. And I'm like, oh my God, this teacher's amazing. I hope I get here, because there are 3 3rd grade teachers. Then as time progressed, 3rd grade rolled around, and I'm like, fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And I got her. And I got to be honest, both like just the most memorable teacher I've ever had, ever, easily.
Wow. It's making me think of a teacher I had in 6th grade, Mr. Salmon. It's amazing how you can remember these right off the top, because they make you, they do things that are so memorable. But he would have these things where, like, every civilization or every time period that we were doing, we would do like a group thing. So like I remember for the Stone Age, we did a dodgeball tournament to see whoever won that would be like the leaders of the Stone Age. And nice. I won. It was pretty cool. So I was one of the leaders of the Stone Age, and we did like Mesopotamia, and it was based off of if he had one of your siblings. And so since my brother a few years before had it, I was like a queen in Mesopotamia. It was just like very cool teaching Babylonia. I mean, I don't obviously remember all of it now, but I remember being so into it. And when you're that into learning, even if you don't necessarily care about a certain subject, a good teacher can make you care. And don't we need that more than ever?
We most certainly do. It's no matter what, you can say things to people, you can do things with people or whatever, but no matter what, you'll never forget how a person made you feel. And as children, that is like our number one, like, language that we speak, I mean, creatively as well. I mean, you and I yeah, we're adults, but doing stuff like this, we're big old ass kids. And so like, we're emotionally invested into what we do. And we don't forget that what we do makes us feel really good. That's why we do it. And so those are just some of those lessons you just never forget. And I'm really, happy that I had her. She's retired. She actually retired. Last year was going to be her last year, but COVID happened. So she wasn't able to say bye to her students. But you were friends on Facebook. She sees all the banter and she sometimes chimes in. I'm like, oh God, I better clean it up. My 3rd grade teacher's on here. Holy hell. But yeah, she's a wonderful woman and she supports everything that I do. And I'm very thankful to have somebody like her in my life.
That is so nice to hear. So to make sure that everyone can find you and keep up with what you're doing, give us like the full rundown. Like where can they find you on social media, watch you, etc. Promote away.
Oh wow, I'm actually really bad at this. Okay, so I have Twitter and Instagram. And that's what's funny is some of our friends in the chat here, we actually all follow each other. So of course you and I do, and Emily, hey Emily, Miranda as well. But I have a Twitter. It's Rodney Conyers Jr. So RODNEY CONYERS JR. I'm pretty sure I bet like the full limit on how many letters you can have in a user. So thanks to Twitter for that. Same with Instagram, same name. Couple writing projects that I kind of have to keep under wrap, but I'm kind of posting more about them as things move on, just for the sake of the other entities involved. I'm really bad at keeping secrets. Like if something makes me feel a type way, or if I'm passionate, I'm just going to blab it out. But they're like, Rod, NDAs, dude, blab it if you want, you're going to jail. So I'm like, let me just keep it to myself. But those are my two social media platforms, and follow me. I talk about, everything that's going on in the world right now. So, we'll talk about COVID in a positive light, because I know talking about that can be, kind of depressing. I talk about social justice, of course, the performing arts, which I think is something that we all certainly, mix and mingle on as well. I know Emily is and Twitch. Sorry, same name on Twitch as well. Rodney Conyers Jr. on Twitch. I sometimes do a Freestyle Friday session on Twitch. I'm trying to get that back up and running because a couple technical difficulties on my end, but trying to get back to that as well. But I'm just, as much as I can talk about my social media, I'm very happy that I have like-minded friends like yourself on my timeline as well, just to keep me inspired, because sometimes I find myself doing things and I'm like, it's hard to keep yourself inspired sometimes, because you're the one holding yourself accountable. But I'll go to your guys' pages and I see the things you all like and love, and I'm like, okay, I'm back in it again. My classmates are in on it. I'm rooting for them. They're rooting for me. Let's knock this thing out.
So true. And especially like there's been a Black History Month. During Black History Month, I've been reading so many posts from different FLSA members, and I've been like, oh, that's a really good point. Or I need to educate myself way more than I thought that I knew or didn't know. And that's kind of, we're all students for the rest of our lives, right? I mean, we should be learning, and it's okay to say, I don't know about this, but now let me take the opportunity to invest more and investigate more. And that's really, like you're saying, when you follow people with like-minded views, but also like challenge yourself maybe a little bit. Some people don't want to do that. That's also okay, as long as, we're all being positive. Keep it positive. That's a Legally Blonde, the musical reference for you. I don't know if you're that deep into the fandom, but
not as much as I'd like to be. It was weird. I go to karaoke, a long time ago, back when the world wasn't in hell, but we used to go to karaoke, and they would sing these numbers from High School Musical and stuff. And I'm like, don't know the words, but we are all in this together. And I am here for it.
We're all in this together. Once we know that we're all stars, and we see that.
See, I'm more of like a Backstreet Boys karaoke. Like it's gonna be. I'm that guy. But yeah. But wow, I need to get my High School Musical game up, because everybody that goes to karaoke knows the moves and everything, and I'm just up there like doing the robot, like I don't know what's going on, but things are happening. Don't get too close.
I don't know the choreography, so I will just be moving my arms at random. Yes. This is so funny that you brought up High School Musical, by the way, because today I was watching High School Musical, the series, which is a whole nother thing on Disney.
There are layers.
There are so many layers. But definitely you have to start out with High School Musical 1, 2, and 3 before you even get into that, because these are classics. Please watch them for me, and then just like message me, and I will be so joyful. Maybe I'll do like, ooh, now I'm kind of thinking we could do like a lot of with the show Treons, which is the BUA Show Patreon squad. We do like some movie nights. So maybe we'll do a High School Musical show Treon night, and everyone can join, and we'll do like a little watch party.
I like the way you're thinking. Thoughts are happening right now. I like that. And I'm actually a really big Disney fan. I just, for some reason, just there's just a part of my life where I just missed the whole High School Musical fandom. Like I got into every other fandom and I just missed that one. But I'm very big on Disney. Alan Menken, like easily probably my favorite composer ever. I mean, this guy is just, if magic was real, like his piano medleys, and this is something I actually, of course it's him and, Lynn, very talented composers. I want Lynn to do like some piano medleys. Just give him 10 minutes and just let him run through In the Heights, Bring It On, 21 Chump Street, Hamilton, like just run through it. Moana, Cover Is Not a Book, just run it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that type of magic. I love it. And I love it because there is, of course, we're hearing the songs the way, that they are on in the show or maybe on the album version. But there is a beauty of just sitting down with that person and them just playing the songs and explaining to them why they wrote it. This is why the motif in, The Room Where It Happens is also used in We Know. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why, Skylar Sisters, New York, You Can Be a New Man is also used in Helpless, or why I use the wedding bell, the wedding song Bells theme, in the song. Is like, there's a beauty in that. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe Lynn has to be like super old, to do it like Alan Menken. So maybe we have to wait like another 10, 15 years. But I like that type of stuff. Any interview I can see on some of my favorite composers, like I'm locked in because I am big on magic. And that is the closest thing to magic that we have on earth right now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. I love all those behind the scenes details and fun facts. And I agree. I watch like all of that stuff. And did you know Lynn is working on the Little Mermaid live video thing? I'm so excited.
I had to scream a little bit when I seen it because I'm like, well, because, as much as we, are very much into their work, and they're the type of people that inspire us. I know that Alan was somebody that would inspire Lynn a lot. And so, he told the story on one of the Disney live streams that they did just a few months ago about how he had one of his friends, one of his friends was Alan Menken's niece, and he like begged her for an autograph, of him or whatever. And, he really talked a lot about how The Little Mermaid was one of the shows that really got him in, to, writing and whatnot. And it's awesome to see those two working together because I think that nobody can write an I Want song or just, it's anything like, Alan. And of course you have just the lyrical genius that is, Lynn. And then you have Daveed Diggs, who was playing Sebastian. And I'm like, that's, Mario and Luigi right there with that's, thing one and thing two. So that is just a lot of great stuff happening. I'm one of the few people who actually likes the live action adaptations of, the Disney films. I thought Aladdin was great. I like Will Smith just as much as I like James, just as much as I like, Robin Williams. I love Beauty and the Beast. So I'm like, well, we gotta complete the trio. We have to complete the trio. Little Mermaid has to be next. And if any of the fishes start rapping, I'm gonna know where it came from. I'm gonna know where it came from immediately.
Yes, 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 yes. I am so excited. I mean, we've got Halle Berry, representation matters, Sebastian as David or David as Sebastian, whatever. They're playing each other. It's you become one with the character.
Mm-hmm.
But truly, I am so excited. Just you wait. I am barely willing to wait for it.
Yes, my heart is ready. My body is ready. I'm just ready for all of it. There's not very many times where I think as an adult, I'm still caught up in a lot of the fandom that is today, comic book stuff. I was there for Avengers Endgame. The whole Pokemon card thing is back in full swing. I feel like it's 1998 all over again. Yes. But I tried, like with the Disney stuff, I'm like, got to keep an open mind. We live in a different, day and age right now. Movies are more accessible and they are making movies that are geared more towards, us. There weren't very many princesses of color. There weren't very many, there just wasn't a lot of representation, period. And I'm glad that Disney is working with somebody like Lynn and Daveed, two people who are huge on that. And they come from shows about, brown and African-American people. So I'm like, yo, you got this juggernaut here and then you got this juggernaut here and they're coming together to make something great. Again, it's that interconnective tissue and I am hooked. They got me. They got me by the wallet. They got me by the brain and the heart, and there's not much more to me than that.
Take the money.
That's right. Take the money.
Yes. I love that you know about 21 Chump Street because that is a deep cut that I didn't realize was a deep cut because it's This American Life and Lynn and Anthony Ramos, but That is a good 21 Chump Street. Okay, quick note. I see Emily saying, I'm sure you both are inspiring other too. I admire you both. I admire you.
Oh, my heart. Thank you. I admire everybody that's here tonight as well.
Yes, I will. Lynn Hart, appreciate you.
I don't have a Lynn heart, but I have a FLS heart. This one works.
Oh, yeah. So this is great. Is there anything else you came into today wanting to make sure to say to all your fans out there?
Thank you for supporting me on this. I don't even know what type of journey this is anymore. I'm just a guy doing things that he likes, because I'm a big old ass kid. So, if you support me for the freestyling stuff, then, of course, I'm very thankful for that. If you're here because of esports, big thank you. If you're here because you collect sneakers, that's awesome as well. I'm going to be dabbling more into playwriting here. I'm going to start announcing some stuff here soon. And of course, you will be the first to know because I feel like you have the platform that, you can help spread the word properly and efficiently. Emily, again, thank you for hanging out with us. Miranda, if you're still here as well, big thank you. This is not really much to me on the Rodney pie chart. It's Taco Tuesday as well. If you like, shout out to Taco Tuesday for getting me through coronavirus. All right. I didn't know that was something I could even look forward to, but when there's not much going on in the world, those 5 for 5 tacos are getting me through this dark time.
It's the little things in life. Honestly, Taco Tuesday, we do Pizza Sunday, and it's nice. It's nice to have something that you can just look forward to, have maybe I'll have a little salad for lunch because I know I'm having pizza for dinner. But you know what? It's the coronavirus time. It's a pandemic. Live a little. That's all I got to say. If you want to have an extra hot cocoa, you do it.
That's right. Yeah, have 1 or 2, hell, even 3, as your heart contents, because who knows with how crazy everything is in the world right now. We could be here one day and gone tomorrow. So while we're here, keep spreading the love, keep, entertaining and engaging the youth, and just keep being a positive person, not just to you, but to everybody out there watching that's going to go back and watch this as well. Keep spreading the love. That's all we got these days.
Thank you. Thank you. Spreading love. Appreciate you coming on, spending your time with me, your energy, your positivity. I appreciate that so very much.
Hey, I appreciate you having me. I love this, and I hope we get to do it again one day.
Yeah, I really like that. And Emily, thank you to you too, and Miranda and everyone else watching either now or future people. Hello. This will remain on forever, ever. So you can enjoy it whenever you want. So y'all can find me at B-Way Show, as you see from this wonderful banner from my friend Chelsea Hill, aka Illustrating Diva. Check it out below, above, and on the sides here. Yeah, I feel like we are now being airplane people. And on your left, you'll see an emergency door. Vogue. Amazing. Y'all are wonderful. Take care of yourselves. Wear a mask. Be safe. And we'll see you at the show. Bye.